What's going on, everyone? Episode number 25, Tales from the Ticket. My name is Kosty. As you guys probably already know, I have Eric Pathy with me as well. Eric, what's going on, man?
I'm just in the middle of chasing steam all morning, and now first I was chasing the wind on the bike, and now I'm here with you chasing steam, and we are ready for a show, and we can rock and roll. I'm trying
Now,
to
what
get
is that? Explain that to the viewers.
First of all, do you remember
what is
this
chasing steam?
Wait.
What does chasing steam mean?
I wore this shirt for you.
Stop guessing. Yeah, I know. I love it.
Wait.
Mine's a little too small on me.
But listen, I was a lot younger. You ready? Should I show him the back? Should I show him the back?
Let me see the back.
If I need to lower the table, let me know. Is it in focus?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Remember, I was walking around the casino wearing these?
Still have the beard. Beard's still there. Beard's a little grayer.
Beard's a little grayer. Exactly. Beard's a little grayer.
Now, like I was just saying, explain what chasing the steam means.
All right. I used the wrong terminology. I wish we could get our man Mike on. I used the wrong terminology, which is we are creating the steam. So we bet the game before the line moves. So when the line moves, you as the player see the line move and go, who the hell moved that line? We did. We're the originators of the move. So what we're doing is we have to make sure that too many people don't. I'm just texting this guy, and then I'll stop. Too many people don't bet the game we have a rule. Everybody's a syndicate. We're all waiting to bet the game simultaneously. Sorry, my standing up desk is giving me a hard time. And what happens is if somebody jumps and hits submit before we say go, the line pops and it ruins the value for us because we're trying to create the move. We're betting at -3, knowing it's going to go to 3.5 and 4, right? This is trading. This is not gambling. This is and so what happens is a lot of people, you can't control information. Just like if somebody buys our picks, you know this, Kosty. We have guys watching this video, we're not going to name them, that buy our picks and in the past have doled them out to other people. So the way you play games with the clients to have what we call line security is you might phony a play. So like this morning was a perfect example. We were loading games and we would say hold, and then we wouldn't say go. And then we would see which game's moving because we're trying to figure out who's the guy that's jumping the gun. And that's basically a lot of the work is information integrity. Just like you have in regular business intellectual property, you have information integrity, which is if I'm telling everybody bet game XYZ at this price, and the way it is you're loading up the play in the sports book, your hands on the mouse, and then everybody goes, go, and then they hit it. And then the line, everybody gets the same line if we're all doing it simultaneously working as a team. But if you have some rogue guy that maybe is giving the plays to his buddy on the cell phone, he's going to move the line. So a lot of the times in the morning, odd hours, we'll load up games and we'll do what's called phony plays and try to figure out where's the hole in the Swiss cheese, if that makes any sense.
And for those that are watching this for the
might be talking Chinese to these guys, but
right. So we offer various products, whether it's just the plays, whether it's following steam, whether it's mentorship, where you could do the work yourself. 99.9% of the people out there can't do what Eric just said. You can't sit there and be a screen reader and follow the work and have the time in the day to be able to do it as a business where it's your entire day is consumed by line shopping. Now, uniquely, Eric, I actually was talking to a client this morning who saw Dave Miller on Instagram and wanted to learn the process, right? He really didn't want the games. He didn't want the edges that Dave does. All he wanted to do was learn the process. And I told him a couple years ago, we actually did a mentorship course where Dave taught people how to find value, how to find the loopholes, how to find edges, all of that in a course. And what I learned from all this is there's a lot of people that are making money following discords for Steam, right? They're sitting in the Discord. There's bots that are in the Discord that are telling them, hey, play this at DK, play this at FanDuel, play this at Caesars. All these different loopholes that you could find Steam. Now, it's profitable, and this guy's been successful at doing this, but what he's running into, he goes, I keep burning the accounts, and I've rolled through so many accounts. I basically have accounts that are not dollars, they're cents. Like they're literally ghost accounts. Like these sports books have limited me to cents per bet. So what I explained to him is the only way you could, unless you have an entire book of getting accounts and able to network yourself extremely well, it's a dying business because these sports books are extremely sharp and they keep, your life expectancy with these sports books is probably less than a couple days because they're betting props, they're betting in game. The only way that you could successfully, in my opinion, successfully make money betting sports in 2025 is betting pregame and having a pro that's doing the homework for you, like we have in our stable of guys that we represent. It's funny. I was talking to a friend this morning who's a edge better, a sharp, does it all on his own. And he said these guys figured out at Caesars that there is these parlays that they do at Caesars that the odds are off by a couple 100%. Oof. So we're somewhere, and these are only Caesars kiosks. So it's not online. It's Caesars kiosks. So where that parlay is 40-1 at most places, it's like 150-1 at these kiosks. So again, these guys are running it like a bit. They're going to states and they're going to opportunities where they could take advantage of that market before it dries out. Most of the people that either watch this show or the community that we're a part of, they don't have the time in the day to take it to that next level. So what you do with Micah, there's a distinct number of clients that are even able to utilize that information and sit there by their phones and press the button at exactly the right moment for them to get the edge on that game. I'd say 99% of our clientele don't have that capability. Like I actually talked to another client this morning from Australia. So he was on the side of Australia where he was 13 hours ahead, not 10, not 12. No, he was.
No, it's only
15 hours.
Well, then I don't know. Perth is 12 hours. That's the West Coast, but go ahead.
He said they did not have daylight savings yet. So,
okay.
When I was talking to him at 7 a.m, it was already 11:30 at night.
Right.
So he was telling me he is heavy into a horse syndicate.
Right.
In Australia. He said, look, I have a very large bankroll. I want to take betting to the next level, and I'm very intrigued with the way that you unitize your bets and the fact that you gave me a presentation of every single rating on every single game over the last year. And I explained to him, I said, that is the only way you should do business with somebody when you see transparency. It's not about hype. It's not about tonight's Thursday night football game. It's not like
keep talking.
Tad clothing that's asking about the NHL tonight. The games don't matter. Every day is a snowflake. If you could, for anybody new that's watching this, if you could take your mindset off, I need to win tonight versus I want to be successful this football season. I want to be successful this basketball season and look through a lens that is not today, that is not this weekend, that is how much volume can I get down between today, which is October 16th, to January 1st? How much volume can I get down between NHL, between NBA that starts next week, which I'm very excited for. We absolutely mutilated NBA last year. And football is just another sport. While most people are watching football and betting on it because of the hype and entertainment of how our society is built, most of the pro bettors don't give a shit about the NFL.
Nope.
Independently. I'm not saying you can't make money with NFL. I'm saying as just an independent, only bet the NFL. All sharps will tell you we bet everything that we have an edge on. If we have data, we're going to get as much money down in our account between a multitude of different bets. And the goal is to make a 6 to 7% take home at the end of the year of our money wagered. So let me say that again. 6 to 7% take home on their money wagers. So if somebody risked $1 million of total wagers, he's looking to make 60 to 70,000 a year. Total wagers throughout a year. So if you look in your, nowadays with your legal sports books, you could see your profit and loss from last year. If you risked a total of $1 million and you didn't take home 60 to 70 grand, that's because you're not dealing with an outfit that is designed for you to get volume down. You're just betting with an opinion. You're not really tracking it. Did I say anything that was off in that little
No, I'm just thinking about my video that I did last night, because at night I get a little more aggressive because obviously it's late, I'm tired. This is one of the things, and I want to talk about it because there's exactly a decade between us. What I said on yesterday's video, my daily video, was all my clients are my peers, meaning they're all born between 1969 and 1975. Literally every single person. I've asked every person that pays me, deals with me at the highest level, is between 60 and 50. I'm 52. Now, what I was saying in yesterday's video, and I don't know if you deal with this more because maybe you attract the younger demographic, is that what I find is I've been getting a lot of these young guys, and there's nothing wrong with young guys. I got young kids that they have this need to flex and tell me how big they bet. And then when presented with the subscription fees, not only are they not going to ever pay them, which is fine, but they have no, it's like their mama didn't teach them any manners. They just hang the phone up. Like that guy I was telling you about yesterday. He went from $100 to $90,000 to hanging the phone up because he got tongue twisted. And what I think is in the internet age of fancy cars and Ferraris and the bullshit and the nonsense and we're not going to make fun because he's probably watching our friend in Virginia Beach with the Supermax bullshit. It's like this stuff is like so infantile. And I don't understand. I read a text. I showed a text exchange on yesterday's video of a guy saying, I wish you sold picks daily. And my rebuttal on the video was, I could sell a lot more picks if I was selling picks daily. I don't want those guys. I don't need those guys. I don't care about those guys. They're just bookmaking whores. They're going to just fund the sports books. And the question is, you think it's an age issue? Because I almost feel like if a guy calls me, the first thing I say is, how old are you? And if he says 20 something, I want to hang up the phone. I don't even want to waste my time talking to him. He could have plenty of money. Now, don't get me wrong. I got one of those guys, met in person, one of my best clients. We know who he is, Brett. Beside Brett, everyone else in that category needs a swift kick up their ass. So what's your take on that? It's like they live in this delusional social media bullshit world where they're like the guy on the comments state. What y'all got in the NL? Who gives a flying fuck about today's NFL? Are you here to make money? Or are you here because you need a needle in your arm? And the needle in your arm is just injecting dopamine for gambling. Now this is the meanest I'm going to be the whole show, and then I'm going to go back to peaceful, make it a winning day. Love everybody, Eric. Go ahead.
I think the age discrepancy allows the younger generation to get rich quick with the parlays. Because back when I got into this business over 15 years ago, almost 20 years ago, I had a client, and every one of my clients already had if they had a lot of money, that's because they started with a lot of money. They didn't just get rich quick, right? They didn't have a parlay. They didn't turn $1,000 into $50,000. They came in and they said, look, I trade stocks. I'm a day trader. I realized that there's a huge opportunity for me to day trade sports. How do I do it? I know the way to make money in this business is extremely boring. I would literally have clients 15 years ago telling me, I know the way to make money is extremely boring. Like, look, David Miller, for example, one of the sharpest.
Real quick. I just thanked you I just sent you a text. Giovanni, a client. Go ahead.
David Miller, one of the sharpest guys out there, on average risks 1% to 3% max per bet. There ain't no, I'm betting 50% on a supermax crap, big game, load up. There's no loading up on anything.
I'm not here. This is one thing I want to be I have never done negative marketing in my entire life. A lot of people imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. As you know, a lot of websites and a lot of people try to copy what we do by saying they have access to what we have access to while not having access to what we have access to. Right. So I'm not one of these guys. I used to be empathetic to the people that fell for the Ferrari and the Porsche and the fancy marketing and the advertising. And the reality is, it's like caveat emptor, buyer beware. There's a sucker born every minute. Every single guy that I talk to, it's like wants to have a psychological shrink, like I'm their shrink. And they want, man, I paid this guy and he won 4 in a row. And he told me to bet my whole account on each game. And then I martingaled the game, and then I blew it all back. And, that guy's a real piece of shit. But no, the guy's not a piece of shit. You're an idiot. Like the guys that do this, we know all the guys that there's a lot of guys. Look, we're boutique, right? We're dealing with the serious of the serious. There's guys out there that probably have thousands of clients versus hundreds of clients that just because people buy into that nonsense. I can't blame the operator of those companies that supply the product that way. I blame the client for being that gullible. Because when you lay out the long-term approach to these people, the truth of the matter is they don't want the long-term approach. And so therefore my empathy slowly after 39 years dwindles. Giovanni's texting me right back. He said, it's the truth. It's a long game. Want to get rich quick? Grab a lotto ticket. Hurts less when it doesn't hit. Giovanni in the comments that said preach. He's a client of mine. Texted me on my cell phone. And he gets it. Because when he called up, he's like, this is my bankroll. I said, this is the fee. He said, how do I pay the fee? He's also involved in the crypto world where you see huge volatility. He joined, I think.
Those guys, would you say that those crypto guys are desensitized to?
Yes, because like when Giovanni joined, Bitcoin was at 125. And now Bitcoin's like at 110. You don't hear anybody jumping off the bridge because Bitcoin went down 15,000. They understand that. Now, that's why a caveat is if you're young and you're in the crypto space, you're not doing the fake flexing.
Let me answer a couple of these questions in the comments, Eric. The first one, this is exactly what we talk about, Kevin. No. If you have 1,000 in our world, again, not saying what you do, not telling you what to do. If you came to me with $1,000 bankroll, one, our products would be too expensive for you. But it doesn't matter if you have 100,000. To bet 1,000 on a game, you have to have 100,000, meaning you're playing 1%. There is no get rich
1%
quick.
per unit, or up to 10,000 if you're following our
Right.
units.
But again, with $1,000, you're making $10 bets up to 100. I know it doesn't sound pretty, doesn't sound exciting. Well, then you shouldn't have $1,000 bank. And I'm not saying there's people out there that don't. There's a product on this platform. We literally cover every single game. If you like a specific person that has knowledge on a specific sport, you could literally be on this channel 7 days a week, 365 days a year, getting free information. At the end of the day, your bankroll money management is more important than the games you receive, because if you're betting too much of a percentage on individual games and you have 3-4 days in a row where those games don't win, you should never be in a position where you're reloading your bankroll.
Right.
So no, that's
So
a
let me
dangerous
just,
game. Yeah,
before you answer the next question. So a very nice gentleman called yesterday. He said, I start every week in my legal account with $2,500. And then at the end of the week, meaning after Monday Night Football, he tries to maintain a $2,500 balance. So his strategy thus far has been put $2,500 in, bet all the way through Monday Night Football. Whatever is above the $2,500, he withdraws and pays himself, and he keeps a base of $2,500. If he loses whatever he loses from the $2,500, if it's a losing week, he adds and tops off back to $2,500. I said, it's a waste of time because you're underfunding your business. First of all, the first day he called, he had $2,500 in his account, and he had $500 on a baseball game that he bet on his own prior to calling us. I said, well, how? Of course you're going to make unrealistic returns. There's weeks where he obviously took $2,500 to $5,000. Figured, oh, this is easy. I'm going to double my money. But now he sees it's not so easy. So what I said to him is, what's the total amount of money? How many weeks could you lose $2,500 and then refund the account? Assume you went on a losing week streak where you put $2,500. He says, oh, I got $20,000. So stop fucking around. Stick the whole $20,000 in the account and bet correctly, instead of worrying about paying yourself every week. Because what you're doing is you're guessing, and you're playing with, and this is the biggest thing, you're playing with fear. You're worried about losing. The difference between a professional bettor, trader, and the difference between a gambler is that we have no fear. I went 0-2 in hockey last night. Who cares? Who cares? Did I wake up in the morning and go, no, I don't care. I'm down 0.8 of a unit because all I bet is dogs. So what? Did I wake up to 57 text messages? You suck, Eric. You went 0-2 in hockey. You had the St. Louis Blues -1.5, and Chicago beat them 8-3. No, not a word. Because the people that I'm dealing with are at a different level, and they're not worrying about a game winning or losing. A gentleman called yesterday. I can't say his name on here. He spent a very large amount of money with handicapping services in the past, and you could tell he's frustrated. And one of the things that we figured out was he doesn't play every day. He only plays on the weekends. So it's like saying the stock market is open 5 days, I'm only going to play 2 days. Or the stock market's open 7 days, I'm only going to play 2 days. You're rambling now. You have 8 days in a month to win. If you don't win in those 8 days, you're screwed. So it was a very easy diagnosis of the illness. Well, I don't play hockey because I don't like it. I didn't play baseball because I didn't like it. Only the easiest sport in the world to win at, that literally any human being can win in baseball without even looking at the paper. You just bet every underdog and you win money. Like, it's the easiest. Like, literally, guys, I just gave you free money. Next year, don't buy anybody's baseball picks. Don't buy my baseball picks. Wake up every morning, and every time you see plus, 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 just bet it. Every game, every day, the whole board. You can't lose. In stone, like coming down from Mount Sinai. You cannot lose. Now, I don't like baseball. I don't like hockey. I don't know anything about golf. I don't know anything about UFC. I don't know anything about tennis, but I love football. So on the weekends, I load up my account. Okay, now you know why you're losing. If you're not betting 7 days a week, 365 days a year, there is no season in my world you have a shot to win. Right? So that was me diagnosing the client's issue. It wasn't about picking winners, Kosty. The guy literally is waiting till Saturday. He's putting all his eggs in Saturday and Sunday. How the hell are you going to win trying to win 8 days out of 30 or 31? It's completely random. You can answer some questions. Oh, by the way, we got a special guest next week. We're not going to say who it is.
Yeah, we're going to keep. Yeah, you guys will.
We recommend you all tune in. We'll pump it in all the videos all week long.
Very, very special guest. From Big Dre, is public betting info ever relevant? No. I don't know, but again, I don't know what the baseline of where that's coming from. Are you just looking at how the public is betting and you're trying to be contrarian? Or are you looking at reverse line movements? What is the baseline of what you're actually following? Because look, at the end of the day, the public still wins. It's not that they don't win. The public still wins a fair share. What personally, with the guys I deal with, could care less about the public. All the professional bettors and syndicates that I rub shoulders with, they could care less about what the public is doing. If anything, sometimes the public is helping them and make the line even better. But whether you're finding value in the line, at the end of the day, you still have to win more games than you lose. You could have the best price on the game. You could have found a price way before the steam happened. You still have to win more games.
Well, unless you're using a unit betting system. Yeah.
Correct.
Which, again, we're all over the place with that. But so we have products that, and then, so here's the thing. I was telling this gentleman, I have a record here of, I'm not going to name which product is. You know what this is. Let's talk about basketball. 551, 417, and 3 last season. College and pro basketball combined. 551 plus 417. I'm not my son. Plus 3. 971 games. 971 games. So now let's do the math. And this is the difference of a unit betting system. 417 times 1,100 is 458,700 minus 551,000. So if you bet all those games, 551, 417, and 3 for $1,000, you made 92,300 after the VIG. Not bad, right? It's pretty good, Kosty, right?
It's pretty good.
The same games, if you bet on a rating system, you made 401,600. 401,600, 401,600 minus 92,300. You made an extra 309,300. Now, the reason why is, just like every stock has a different price, every game has a different value. Now, the win-loss record, if you take 417 and divide it into No, 551 divided by 971 is 56.7%. So wrap your head around that. You made either 92,000 flat betting at 56.7%, or you made 401,000 not flat betting at 56%. When the average guy that's going on the internet in this world is trying to buy picks because some guy's telling him he's going to go, we're not going to name the name. We have a little fun sometimes. Let's tell everybody tales from the ticket, tales from. We had a little fun. We get all these stupid texts to our phone.
Right.
And
I always say this.
So you call the guy's office.
So like I call I get all these stupid texts, and people claim that they're 75% this year, and I have some fun with it because I keep getting blown up. So I call the number, and the rep that answers says, yeah, we're 75%, can't lose. So, well, what are you expecting for this football season? We're not going to be below 70%.
Never. We don't go below 70%.
I'm like, you can't be serious. You can't be serious that you're going to hit.
This group,
absolutely.
This group is the sharpest group on the planet. They went 56.7%, making about 50 million last basketball season. And this guy's on the phone telling you, send me 1,000.
It's like,
we're never going to go.
We're never going to go below 70%. And I'm like, it's such a red flag. And I said it to him. I said, it's a red flag when you claim that you're above 70. No, we're that good. But again, that's all hype. If you guys, anybody that's watching the show right now or watching the replay, go on the PickDawgz leaderboards for last basketball season.
I'll do it right now.
Last college basketball season, NFL season, college football season. If somebody is in the low 60s, that is a phenomenal season. Low 60s. Phenomenal season. So for somebody to claim 70%, 75%, listen, all I could tell you is from past experience, that's a red flag. I would never, ever believe somebody to hit 75% of anything when you're betting sports.
I'm looking right now. So I said 56.7%. Okay, I was 57.5%. Okay, so Al McMorty was 57.5% on the leaderboard, flat betting, plus 67 units after the juice. David Racy was 57.7%, plus 49 units. Ron Romanelli was 57.3%. Nobody was 58% or higher. Nobody was 50. So we're talking about nobody was even 6-4 out of 10 games. Nobody. I'm looking at it right there. Nobody. So you believe a guy's going to go 70%? Now, it doesn't mean that Al McMorty, Dave Racy, Ron Romanelli, or anybody on the platform can't wheel off 15 winners in a row. And at that short moment in time when you compress out. But let's talk about football from this group last year. Football from this group was 176. I'm going to do the math. 131, ironically, and 3. Both groups had 3 pushes. So it's a much lower volume game. 176 plus 131 plus 3. 310 football games, college and pro combined. You take 176, you divide it by 310. 56.7. Literally, both of them equally. College football and basketball. College and pro basketball, 56.7%. College and pro football, 56.7%. Now, 131 games times 1,100 is 144,100 that you lost betting a dime a game. So you won 176,000 minus 144,100. You made $31,900 flat betting every college and pro football game from this group. But if you had ratings on these games where our syndicates were telling you which games to bet bigger and which games to bet smaller, and you were betting 1% to 10%, you made 153,200. So 153,200 minus 31,900 is 121,300 in extra revenue. So what is the point of me going through this? Well, the first thing is what the percentages in both groups were under 58%, just, 56.7%. And the other point of going through this is, where's the real secret in winning money in this business? It's betting different amounts on different games. Yeah, you can make 31,000 or 31 units, but that's not where you're going to make the big money. You can't make life-changing money betting the same amount on every game. So when you're looking at the leaderboard in PickDawgz, what you're looking at is the hard side, which is great. It's the simplistic side of pick more winners than losers, pick more winners than losers, pick more winners than losers, except baseball, because you have people that basically break even in baseball and make money because they're betting dogs like me, right? But this should be the takeaway, because when you take all the games combined and you add them together, you're talking about 1,000 games, 971 games, not counting the fact that I'm 11-0 in the last 11 halftime bets. So talk to me why we have so few people on our halftime channel.
Well, it's quality of life.
It's not me, right?
We promote it because, look, at the end of the day, we do this for a living. So we're sitting there in front of screens on Saturday and Sundays or evenings when there's action going on, and we're looking for halftime opportunities. Most people, the quality of life, they're busy. They don't have the time to be on their phones at nighttime or on weekends. And at the end of the day, they choose not to change their quality of life. Now we have
I got a text from Massimo in Canada. This is the last text I got from my man Massimo. The halftime group is crushing, but I keep missing a lot of the bets because they either get posted when I'm very busy or on the weekend when I'm out. Do you think I should keep playing it whenever I can, or is it better to just not play it since I'm unable to play the full program? I said, play them when you can. You're still going to make money. But like the guy paid me and he's admitting, he's like, dude, you're crushing it. He goes back and he looks after the fact. Not everybody can be connected in all the time. So
and I communicate that with the client. Again, when you call us, we give you a prescription of what will work for you based on where you live geographically. Like I have a client that I talked to this morning, like I said, from Australia, and he was saying his biggest issue was because of the time difference, how much time is he going to get before the game starts to get the signals? Can't see it.
No, I'm going to get it in there.
You can't. It's too small. Too small. You can't see it. Just let it go. Dude, it's little writing. What don't you understand about that? Nobody could see it.
You need trifocals like me.
No. So I explained to him a lot of our football and even basketball stuff is released a day prior or days prior, because his biggest issue is because of the time difference, is he going to have enough time to get the games in? Well, geographically, it matters. The type of lifestyle that you live. We give you a prescription based on what will work for you, what will work for the client. And half times don't particularly work for a large majority of our clientele. And that's okay. It's not everything we do is not for everyone.
You can put up when you get a chance, Big Red's question.
About here, I'll put up the first one. Go ahead.
Unacceptable. A big unacceptable. The only time you lay juice is on a spread wager, minus 110 max. You never buy points. If you bet a hockey game and you lay anything over even money, unacceptable. So here's a perfect example. St. Louis Blues last night, minus 1.5 plus money, laying 300 on the money line. So you had to lay 300, I believe, to win 100 on the money line. They lost 8-3. I lose even money. I'm not some schmuck that lost 300 to win 100 on St. Louis. Unacceptable. The little juice that people try to rationalize, like I did on today's video. Anybody who bets on the Dodgers is a loser. End of story. I don't care if they win the World Series. You're a loser when it comes to your pocket. You can't make money betting on the Dodgers. It doesn't matter if they win tonight. You lost $1,300 betting on the Dodgers or $13,000 betting on the Dodgers. They're the worst team to bet on as a favorite in all of baseball. So you have to draw a line in the sand, and you have to be religious about it. Do not lay $1 in hockey or in baseball. Why did I give out Toronto yesterday? Because I'm clairvoyant, because I have some great handicapping skills on the YouTube channel for free. It wasn't a service play. Why? They're plus money. When in doubt, just bet dogs. Now, here's the difference between hockey and baseball. Hockey, when I say dogs in baseball, I mean pure dogs. My whole baseball world is pure dogs. Maybe 1% is minus run lines. Hockey's a different beast. So there'll be a lot more of conversion. But I'm not mad going, well, if I would have had the dogs, the groups that I deal with weren't on the dogs. 2 dogs, one yesterday that I lost, minus 1.5. But the thing was, both of the minus 1.5 favorites that I made minus 1.5 lost outright. So it didn't matter. It wasn't like they won by 1, Kosty. And if I would have made money if I would have bet them on the money line. My minus 1.5s, either they're going to get blown out. I have a group, and this is really crazy. So we got another group that's very aggressive, and they arbitrage hockey. You know what they do, Kosty?
What's that?
Every 1.5, they bet the dog on the other side. So you go minus 1.5, St. Louis plus 20 cents, Blackhawks plus 280. You go minus 1.5.
You're getting plus.
You're getting plus. You go 1 unit minus 1.5, 30 cents plus 300 as a hedge.
So you're never laying juice and you're hedging.
And the only way you lose is when the favorite wins by 1.
Right.
You lose both sides, right? We got a guy in our office that's famous of betting both sides in baseball. We're not going to mention his name, but he's been, he's an old man. He's 70 years old and he's been doing it his whole life. And he'll literally go to his app and he'll bet 10,000 on a baseball game minus 1.5. And then he'll bet, a huge underdog in baseball for,
so he's still getting plus money on both sides.
Right. And then, and very rarely does he get the 0-2. It's either usually 1-1 or he hits both. But yeah, the answer to your question is long-term in baseball and hockey, only the underdog or the minus run line, puck line, if it's plus money. Remember, if it's minus money, it doesn't matter. It's not about the puck line, it's about the money line.
And this is the second question for you on this as well. When it comes to football and basketball spreads, do you think it would be a wise idea to buy points to always get plus money, or is it getting the best spread number more important than the odds?
I'm ruining Brad's life over there. He says, or if you go to bed by 7, I'm putting out these second halves at midnight. God damn. He must wake up in the morning and be like, God, this guy's killing me. At least on Saturday and Sunday, he has a shot. Yeah, exactly. If you're a normal person and you go to bed at night. When it comes to football, basketball spreads, do you think it would be a wise idea to buy?
No, don't do it.
I'm a loss for words.
No.
Do you understand? I just said you can't lay more than 110 on a bet and ever win. So what do you do when you buy points? You're laying more than 110. You're literally making the favorite more of a favorite. If you watch the videos that we do with Big Al All Access videos, every time I bring up this subject, he wants to throw a rock through the computer. He's like, dude, you never buy points. You are better off losing a bet by 0.5 point. In your mind, psychologically, you think you saved money by buying this insurance when it only affects 1 to 2% of all the games. So if you're juicing, you're making all your 10-cent bets, 20 and 30-cent bets, of course you can't make any money because you can have a winning record. You're still going to lose.
No, it gets comical, but it's always going back to what you said earlier in the show, where the thing that I get most frustrated with is when I talk to a client. Like, we have a lot of the stuff that we do, people already know who we are. People know what to expect. They fill out a form. They fill out a consultation form to speak with us, right? Because we're not handicappers giving out picks on the website daily. And a client will call, and it's always, he knows more than me. He knows the teams. He knows the lines. He knows his own system. And he's telling me how good he is at sports betting. And then we get into the nitty gritty, and I figure out, okay, based on your bankroll.
For all the people that weren't here earlier, I'm going to turn around. Go ahead.
Go ahead. What's your P&L for the year? And then it becomes real fuzzy. The fuzzy math starts coming out. I'm like, unless you track your wagers, track them religiously. Otherwise, you have what's called fuzzy math. Because it's this, I don't know what it is about sports bettors. When you ask them how they're doing, they always say the same thing. I'm down a little or I'm up a little. Down a little or up a little. How's that going to help you?
Let me ask you something. I went out on a date once with this woman. She said, you're very narcissistic. You have your picture on the back. I said, no, that's for when I walk into the casinos. Remember we used to walk through the casinos, but pre-COVID, and I would be wearing the shirt, and I'd have 10 guys wearing the shirt with me, like the posse. And we had that guy Goldberg. He's like 350 pounds, 8 feet tall, wearing the shirt. I had a triple X he was wearing. It's funny, good times. Yeah, look, I have a lot of fun. I love the relationships.
No, Dre, no. Minus 110. That's it. No, minus 115. No, minus 120. They're bad bets. Yes, they're bad bets. You
cannot win enough at 57%. Remember, the best, everyone watching this on replay or in real time can easily put on a blindfold and go 50%. Everyone goes 50% at the end of the year. Mathematics, it's the coin flip theory. Everybody's 50%. You're 50%. I'm 50%. Kosty's 50%. Every talking head is 50% over a large sample size. You're paying for the extra 5 to 6%, maybe 7%, right? So do the math. If you have 100 games, Kosty, I'll do the math. It's a good exercise. If you have 100 games and you're going to go, I'll be generous and say 57%. And you're going to win 57 games. So you're going to win $57,000. And that means you're going to lose 43 games. Let's do 43 multiplied by 1,100 is 47,300 minus 57,000. So you made 9.7 units going 57%. At 110 odds, you made $9,700 going winning 57 games and losing 43. Now remember, 57 minus 43 is 14. 14 minus 9.7 is 4.3. So just on 10%, you've surrendered 4.3 games. It's like losing an extra 4.3 games. Now you take the same number and you take 43 and you multiply it by 120. You've now lost 51,600 minus 57,000. You've still made money. You've made $5,400. So just think about that. You went from 9,700 to 5,400 on 10 cents. Now let's talk about baseball. Let's do 57% on 43 cents, on 30 cents. 43 times 1,300 is 55.9. Now, how about all those people that lay 40 cents in baseball? Remember, 57,000 is your profit. You made a buck there. Now, imagine if you're betting baseball and you're laying 140. So if you're betting baseball and your average odds in a baseball game is 40 cents, you've won 57,000, and on the 43 games that you lost 60,200. You've had a net loss of $3,200 winning 57% of your games. This is why no one but me wins in baseball. Like, period. No one but me wins in baseball long term. Because they don't understand. They're 60%. I had a guy, I don't even want to be disrespectful, this mongoloid in Texas. I got a system and I got AI and blah, blah, blah. And I got $70,000 in my Bet US account, this fool. And I'm killing it in baseball and I bet favorites. And he screenshots me his account with $70,000 in it. And you're wrong. You can make money with favorites. Next week, I go, man, you're awful quiet. Screenshot me your balance. Gone. You're awful quiet. A week later, screenshot me. No, of course you can't make money in baseball if you're laying 40 cents. You can barely make money if you're laying 30 cents or 20 cents. Can you imagine? Look at the record, Kosty, of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Let me turn on my screen here. The Dodgers are... what is it? 97. Here, I got it right here. I'm turning on my Donbest screen. I mean, people don't understand. Juice is their enemy. This is the only thing that matters is juice, and that's it. Nothing else matters. MLB tonight. The Dodgers are 93-69. They're up 24 games. If you bet on every Dodgers game this season, I'm going to give it to you right now, bringing it up here on the computer. So you're up 24 games. If you bet to win $1,000 on every Dodgers game this season, you are minus $930. I'm looking at it, including postseason. And you want to talk to me about laying juice? You're up 24 fucking games and you're down $930. And I only had one coffee, Kosty. The next one is after the show.
The juice is loose. All right, let me answer a couple questions here. We do have 5 minutes left on the show. I'll answer this one. So Dre, no, because why would you make your line worse?
Exactly.
No. If you have it at minus again, but what is the root of your 6.5? Are you following somebody's strategy that's a pro and he tells you to bet it at 6.5? what is the root cause of that? Because why would you make the line worse for plus money? You're just creating more of a variance for you at that price. So no, I would not suggest that. That's a no as well. Then this Dolphins fan, also no. I'll
So
tell you this, Eric, how many college basketball games do you think we would have on an average Saturday?
I'll let Optimum Health answer that.
30 plus.
Right.
So
forget Saturday. Every
people, I'm just, no, well, it's not every day because the volume's not there.
It's Wednesday and Saturday, right?
Yeah. So those are the big days of the more volume you can get down with an edge. Volume is your friend. We don't have big
so let me
games.
explain
We
this.
don't have.
Let me
We don't have.
explain this. Let me
yeah.
explain this to the Miami Dolphin guy. In a perfect world, if you're a professional bettor, you have no available capital to make any additional bets every day. So the struggle for a professional bettor is they want to be fully invested. If they have $10,000 and they're betting 1% per game, which is $100, they want a million bets at $100, and it settles at the end of the day. And the positive expectation is between 3 to 7% long term, which is why guys like Dave Miller, if they bet $1 million on a Saturday, they're looking to make 50 to 60 to 70,000 on a. But the struggle for a recreational bettor or a normal person is that they can't use all their money every day while everyone else is doing what you're asking. They have this delusion of the least amount of games that I make, the least allowed amount of risk that I take. Wrong. It's the other way around. The more games that you bet, the less risk you're taking if you're betting them correctly, which goes back to money management. This is what I call gambler's fallacy. It's public delusion. You're worrying about things that have nothing to do with making money. It doesn't matter if you bet one game. It doesn't matter if you bet 100 games. None of that matters. In the beginning of the season, Al McMorty had no plays week 1. People were like, where are the games? Week 3, he's got 20 games. It's too many games. It's like the scales. Like you got to, you just don't, if you care about how many games you bet, you're betting for recreation, you're betting for fun, and that's fine. Enjoy it and understand that that's why you're betting, but you're not betting because you're trying to make money.
And when we talk about certain situations, Eric and myself, listen, what we offer is to a very, very small percentage of this community. This is not for everyone. We do have a product on this platform for everyone, whether you want to just buy daily picks from any of the handicappers. I think there's 18 handicappers on the site. Go to the leaderboards, see which guy excels at what sport that you like to have entertainment with, and go buy his plays. What we offer is much more hands-on experience because we give you the units, we give you the different groups attached to your account. We basically crush your bookmaker, whatever that may be, whether it's a guy that's giving you access via a website or whether you're betting on a legal book. We know how to exploit sports books. The key to our products is you have to be properly funded. So most people are not. Most people claim to be funded, but they're not. Most people claim to bet 1,000 a game, and they shouldn't. And
when you're done talking, we're going to go over a little.
And we turn away more people than we bring on, and that's just how we offer our services. I mean, there's 290,000 people on this platform, almost, I think, 289, and we have less than 100 that follow our direction. So hope that answers it.
So this is a little, I got permission from Micah to give this information out. So all I'm going to say is this. If you're watching this and you have a legal sports book, and you have at least 10,000 or more funds, when I say legal, I mean legal, as in FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars. I don't mean offshore I don't mean the companies that you fund with crypto. A legal sports book in one of the 39 states plus DC. And you have attempted in the past to live wager, and you're wondering why you can't win. All I'm going to tell you is this. If you're interested and you're a high net worth individual and you have multiple legal accounts, we have a product for you for the live wagering. It is going to be less amount of people than you just mentioned. So if we have 30 people, maybe we'll have 3 people, right? This is a very unique product for clients that are looking to make huge money. And I can't say any more than that. And it's not about picking winners. This is live betting, something I've never offered. I do have a halftime channel, but not live. But there's the world we live in. You have 3 ways to wager: local bookie, offshore, legal. And a lot of people, when they call, they don't understand the difference in the terminology. They'll say to me, oh, yeah, I bet with a legal sports book. And then they're sending their money to Costa Rica. Legal means there's a stock ticker behind that company. You're dealing with the state, Illinois, Maryland, Pennsylvania, etc. If you're in California, you're watching this, meaningless. If you're in Texas and you're watching this, meaningless, etc., etc. But if not, you can reach out to me, get my number off the website. And if you have a losing account, which means you have multiple net losses in that account, the more money you'll have an opportunity to make, because your account is what we call seasoned. And I just wanted to leave it with that.
So yeah, guys, appreciate you guys tuning in for episode 25 of Tales from the Ticket.
Oh, so next week, you're going to see a completely different Eric. No profanity, no yelling, no screaming. We'll
see about that.
We're going to have the guest of all guests. Stay tuned next week.
And Lean Life, the numbers in the description. If you want to inquire about anything that we discussed, you could see it right in the description of this podcast. Again, guys, we will be back here next week with a special guest. Definitely tune in. Follow any of the content on the channel. There's amazing content from NHL, MLB, football. There's a ton of guys on this channel that give you absolutely free content. And if you want to subscribe to any of their products, you can go to their independent videos, and there's a link in the description below. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Make it a winning day. If you need to hear about any of the products or want to reach us directly, the number is in the description below, and we could set up a time to speak. Eric, any last words?
I'll leave it with Mitch. Be kind to one another. Make it a winning day.